Hello everybody and welcome to another video of DIY investing. I have one of the best videos that I'm going to share with you talking about the price of XRP. Many people have been asking me to give my thoughts and my analysis around what I believe is going to be happening long term. What the charts are telling me is that we are going to have another massive 2017 type bull run. Not only is the total altcoin market cap creating the same pattern that we made right before that 2017 bull run, but the price chart of XRP is doing the exact same thing. What I believe is going to happen is another massive move where XRP is ultimately going to hit my $28 price target. I'm a buyer. I believe long-term XRP is going to be one of the best returning high-cap cryptos, and the people that are positioning themselves right now are going to set themselves up to make a financial fortune. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and with that being said, let's jump right into this amazing video today. I've been very adamant about explaining that I believe that what we are heading into, going into this next bull run, is the same cycle as our 2017 bull run. And what I've been telling you guys about is that the market structure from this cycle compared to our very first cycle looks identical. There's a reason it looks identical. Now guys, it's not coincidental that this cycle and this cycle look exactly the same. And this cycle right now is sitting right on support of those previous all-time highs in the exact same way that we did in 2016, right before that massive 2017 bull run. It's not coincidence. And one of the things that was apparent to me, what I thought in my head, if this current cycle is setting up in the exact same way as that 2016 to 2017 bull run, wouldn't it make sense that those altcoins that were around for 2013, 2014, and 15 throughout this entire period, wouldn't it make sense that they also look the same as what we saw right before those 2017 bull runs? And that's what takes me into today's video, mapping out why I believe this coming cycle is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, that we have ever seen. Now guys, XRP is a prime example of one of those cryptos. XRP is one of the only cryptos that takes us all the way back to 2013. XRP was literally added to exchanges at this exact same moment of time that we get the total altcoin market cap. So it's actually one of the only examples of an altcoin that we have that dates back all the way to that first cycle. And it's not coincidental that the altcoin total market cap today is setting up in the exact same way that it did in our first cycle. And when we look over here at XRP today, it's sitting at the exact same market structure right before that 2017 bull run. It's not coincidence, guys. There's a reason they're setting up in the same way, and it's because we're getting ready for a truly monumental bull run heading into this next cycle. Now, we're going to go through here and map it out. This was our bull run and cycle top. This was the all-time high of XRP in 2013. This was when the total altcoin market cap topped at its all-time high as well. We make our bear market. The bear market does this massive 90+% correction, and then we start the beginning of the next cycle. This is the end of the bear market, and then we make our first impulse. Now, inside of this impulse, we never made a new all-time high. Where a lot of people thought that we would, we ended up making a lower high and continuing on in a long-term consolidation range. We top at this resistance, and then we start an ABC correction back down. We bottom after we do nearly a fully retrace, but this basically takes us back down to horizontal support. And then we start about a 1-year sideways action. Eventually this leads us to a breakout of descending resistance. And then this takes us to our spring-loaded bounce heading into that 2017 bull run. Now guys, if the total altcoin market cap is setting up in the exact same way as it did right before 2017, wouldn't it make sense that XRP today would look exactly the same as it did all the way back in that first cycle as well? Well, yeah, it would make sense, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Bull run, cycle top, takes us there. We start our bear market, 90% correction back down. The only difference here is there was way less money in the total market cap back here, and so to create this same pattern, it's just taking more time. In the exact same way that if we look over here, this is the same as this, but this is way longer than this was. The more money and the more liquidity that enters a market, the more time it's going to take to get the prices to break out and go on those expansive bull runs. Nothing has changed though. This is still the same. We get this big 90% correction, we get the bottom of our bear market, and then we start our lower high. This was our entire last bull run. There's a reason XRP didn't make a new all-time high, and it's because it takes more time to create the same expansive moves. We needed more time worth of accumulation to get XRP to go to that $28 price target. I was naive in thinking that inside of our last bull run, we would just go there instantly. I didn't realize that it just takes more time to move that same amount of money. And this is exactly what we saw after, we ultimately topped and made this lower high. We top up here, and then we start our bear market back down. Our entire last bear market was the same as this ABC correction right here. It was the exact same move. ABC back down. We go all the way back down to trending support. We're still holding higher support above our capitulation in the true bottom of the bear market. But this is ultimately us retesting our major trending support. And if we draw a horizontal support line, this is basically the biggest area of support in the entire XRP chart. 2017 resistance, 2018 support, it was resistance throughout 2019. Eventually we flipped it as support, and that's basically where we're trending today. It's the exact same area as what we saw here after this ABC correction. It was our major area of support throughout our entire last cycle. Now guys, what we are expecting to see is a variance of this consolidation. After we ended this ABC correction, we basically just trended sideways for a year straight before that 2017 bull run. And so guys, it would make sense to me that in this exact moment of time, leading up to that 2017 bull run, when the market broke out, retested those previous all-time highs of support, XRP was just going sideways throughout that entire period of time. And so if we're sitting at that exact same moment of time, what I believe is going to happen is a variance of what happened over here. It doesn't have to just go sideways like this, but up to this point, it literally looks pretty much identical to the same consolidation that we were in over here. Not that that's going to continue to stay the same, because market structure does vary. But if what we're looking at is the exact same repeat, and already the market structure looks pretty much the same up to this point, there's a lot of tangibility that says that we could really just continue to follow these same patterns. So what is apparent to me? What I believe will happen is throughout this entire year, we will get reaccumulation, and most likely we shouldn't expect a whole lot of massive price appreciation. If we get a variance, what I believe will happen is most likely we'll rally up to this resistance, this descending resistance. We'll get a pullback back down. We'll get some more reaccumulation. Eventually we'll break out of this descending resistance, and then kind of in the same way that once we broke out over here, we retested it as trending support, right? It was resistance, we broke out, retested as trending support, and that's what created this spring-loaded bounce heading into 2017. And so we might not end up just going sideways like what we saw right here. It might be a little bit different. We might get more bullish appreciation depending on how the market looks for Bitcoin, and we might end up actually getting a breakout of this downtrend in the same way that we did back here in 2016 and 2017. What ultimately this will lead us to is, like I stated over here, a spring-loaded bounce, where we would expect to see something like this, right? I don't know exactly how it's going to look, and it could be a little bit different than what we saw here, but up to this point, we have seen a very clear pattern that is forming, not only with the total altcoin market cap creating the same exact fractal and the same market cycle as before, but XRP being one of the only cryptos that was actually around to accumulate throughout that first cycle. It is also creating almost the same exact market cycle fractal as what we saw in that last cycle right before 2017. And so I don't care what the variance is going to be, whether we make a slight uptrend, break out of the descending resistance, and then flip it in the same way that we did over here, or whether we kind of just go sideways throughout this calendar year in preparation for that massive move. I don't really care that much, because it doesn't matter. What my focus is and what my sights are set on is this move heading into that 2017 bull run. And so that's what I've been trying really hard to explain to you guys. XRP is bullish. Nothing has changed. The only difference is we had the lawsuit that ultimately hampered some of the upward price appreciation that we could have experienced. But what's interesting to me is, even though that happened, it still did the same thing back in 2014. We never made a new all-time high. It was a lower high, and then we went through this big ABC correction, and then a year of sideways action before that 2017 cycle. It's the exact same thing that happened right here. We made a lower high, ABC correction back onto trending support, and now we're most likely going to get 1 year of sideways to 1 year of slight uptrending. I'm not expecting some massive breakout like this until sometime in 2024. Now, when we look at other different forms of analysis, we can see that this is setting up for a massive cycle either way you look at it. When we compare it to the Wall Street cheat sheet, which, let me scroll this up a little bit so that you guys can actually so my camera's not blocking it. If we look over here, we can see that we saw almost the exact same market cycle as what we would see in the Wall Street cheat sheet. The same emotional psychology creating the same market cycles. Here is hope. That's right before the blow off top. We get the blow off top. Optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. That's all what happened inside of this move. We start our bear market back down. We get capitulation, anger, and depression. Those are the three lows, right? Capitulation, anger, depression. And that's generally the way a bottom of a cycle will look. There will be variance, and that's kind of what we saw here. After the 80% decline from the highs, we get capitulation. When we start making a lower low past this support, we get anger. And then when we make our third low, basically looks like this. Anger, depression, right? It's a little different, but it's the same emotions all the way through. Nonetheless, after depression comes the disbelief phase. This is where we make our first higher high, the new trend into the bull run. And this is what's known as disbelief. And if you notice here, it says this is a sucker's rally. That's because the average person genuinely thinks that the market is dead. This is a higher high. We made a brand new impulse. We broke out of all descending resistance after accumulation. We made this high, and then we started correcting back down. And that's why it's known as the disbelief phase. And if you notice here, we actually see the disbelief phase twice. The disbelief phase happens at the very beginning before that massive bull trend starts taking place. And this would have been all the way back down in here somewhere. XRP was so bullish that it's hard to see the whole chart, but nonetheless, you would have still saw that exact same thing. And so if the disbelief phase repeats, and it's always what happens right before the beginning of a new cycle, it would make sense that if XRP is creating this exact same pattern, that this is not over by any means. In fact, we've broken out of our downtrend. We've flipped our downtrend as support, and it's looking like we're going to get continuation from this point. And that's what tells me that XRP is not dead at all. The only difference here is because we didn't break out and make a new all-time high with DeFi, with NFTs, and with the metaverse and some of those niche markets, people are writing off XRP entirely. And I almost did as well. I was thinking about rediversifying my XRP. But when I look at the big picture, what I look at in the macro view, I see the exact same thing that is happening right before that 2017 bull run. And I've been very adamant at explaining that the market structure from our cycle to our last cycle, or I should say the first cycle, is identical. It's not coincidence that they're creating the same fractal, and XRP is also creating that exact same market cycle as well. And what is interesting to me is because we only saw this lower high, and now we're going sideways right here, just like we did over here, nobody was buying XRP back here. Everybody thought the same thing. Oh, dead coin, it doesn't move. You know, this is a lower high, lower lows, nothing's bullish about this. And you're going to see the same things happening right here. Nothing has changed, the motions are still the same, and that's what's interesting to me is it looks identical when we're looking at the Wall Street cheat sheet to a cycle that's in the disbelief phase. It's now broken out from the disbelief phase, and everybody thinks that this is a sucker's rally. It also says over here, disbelief. This rally will fail like all others. Nobody is bullish on XRP except for the people that believed in it long term, like you, the guys that are watching this, or like me that have been holding it for a long time. I still firmly believe XRP is going to have a massive bull run, and when I look at this from a market cycle perspective, this just looks perfectly primed for another 2017 bull run. Regardless, we don't have to have 1,000x gains or 500x gains to have a very successful cycle. In fact, the higher the market cap grows, XRP sitting at $5 to $10 billion in market cap right now, you can't really expect to see a 1,000x return inside of high cap cryptos. But nonetheless, if we hit $28, like I've always stated that was my target, I really do believe that if we see a 2017 bull run, $20 to $30 would be a realistic target. So if we go to $19, to move this, that's a 50x from where we're at today. If we go to $28, that's a 70x. If we go to $30, that's about a 76x. And so guys, that is a massive, massive amount of ROI potential nonetheless. It doesn't have to go to the exact targets, but if we're hitting $10, $20, $30, that's still a massive amount of ROI that you could accomplish by accumulating down here at the lows. What the market cycles are telling me, that we are getting ready for a 2017 bull run. If you're prepared before that happens, buying down here, many altcoins are going to give you life-changing returns. If XRP pulls a 25 to 50x, imagine what all of the other cryptos that are low caps, or even what other cryptos that are built on XRP. Imagine what Songbird will do. Imagine what Flare will do. Imagine what these other cryptos will be able to accomplish if, in fact, we see another 2017 cycle. Which, guys, like I've stated 100 million times, there's a reason why this cycle looks exactly the same as this cycle right before that 2017 bull run. It's because we're going to get a 2017 type bull run again. Now guys, one final thought on today's video is how the Bitcoin pairs look, because I've stated many times that we don't see true alt season unless the Bitcoin ratios are outperforming, right? So XRP against Bitcoin, our entire last bull cycle, XRP never really broke out. We just made a big long-term accumulation. What we see inside of XRP is not only does the dollar chart repeat fractals, but XRP against Bitcoin repeats fractals. This was our first cycle. ABC back down. We make this big breakout once again. We top. We go through this kind of sideways accumulation before we break down and make our long-term accumulation heading into that spring-loaded bounce. The same thing happened over here in 2017. We get the same massive cycle. Go up here, lower high. Well, I should say we correct ABC back down, ABC back down. We make our next massive move. That's this one right here. Lower high. We consolidate back down here, kind of in the midway point. This is what leads us to a breakdown and our long-term accumulation. This is the same all the way through. It's the same exact pattern. Nothing has really changed here. And what's interesting to me is when we look over here, we see a ton of volume that has come in at these support lows. Guys, it's not a coincidence that all of these charts look exactly the same. It's because what we are getting ready for truly is going to be a 2017 type bull run. Bitcoin is, if it goes to 200,000 and XRP goes to, you know, 10, 15, $20, we will see these Bitcoin ratios make massive breakouts, and it'll be just the same as some of these other cycles that we saw in here. And that's what's got me so excited for this next cycle. I'm excited for the people that were willing to stick to a trading plan and hold, even though it was getting uncomfortable for some people, even though many people didn't know what was going to happen. You know, if the XRP BTC chart makes another one of these, all these people that have been willing to hold with me, with the rest of the XRP community, they are going to be the ones that are ultimately able to capitalize on this massive ROI potential. I truly believe in XRP long term. And what's given me even more confidence to believe in it is the fact that not only is the altcoin setting up in the same way, but XRP is setting up in the same way. That tells me that there's a lot of buy support in XRP, and it will be one of those cryptos that follows its 2017 trend. It won't make 1000x, it won't make 500x, but it could definitely hit 25 to 50x in my eyes, and that's still life-changing amounts of profit. $1,000 into $51,000, I mean, who wouldn't be happy with that gain? Now, for the people that have been watching this and accumulating for a long time, chances are you've got more than $1,000 in. If you have $10,000 and it does 50x, well, there you go. Now you're good enough to retire. Then you're good enough to pay off your house, your car, your kids' debt, your college, whatever it is, guys. That's what I'm excited about this cycle. We are going to be setting up to make life-changing returns, and all we have to do is take profits in this next cycle, and we can do a lot of really positive things. A lot of people that watch this channel have debt. A lot of people that have, you know, children. A lot of people have car payments. Whatever the millions of different scenarios are, a bull run is life-changing money that you can use to not only pay off your debts, but you can also use that to help your family. And that's what I was able to do in the last bull run when I was able to pay off my mom's mortgage. You guys can't, the words don't explain how good that feels to be able to do that for your family. And I'm looking forward to being able to do even more this coming cycle. I want to start a nonprofit. I want to be able to fund different sort of things, not anything to do with me making more money, but me able to help people that need help. A lot of people struggle in these times. Many people that watch this channel are probably in a similar boat that are struggling. They don't know what they're going to do. Inflation is skyrocketing. They still make the same wage. Now they have debt. Now they have all this inflation. You know, it's a stressful thing to go through. And what I'm excited about is the fact that we are setting up for a monumental bull run that will make our last cycle look like a little tiny blip on the big scheme of things. And when that happens, those people that were positioned beforehand are going to be the ones that are able to actually capitalize on all of that wealth increase. All that matters is that you're willing and able to hold and stick to a trading plan now, and those that do will be rewarded majorly inside of this next cycle. So guys, if you found value in this, always remember to leave a like, like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to follow my trades, you guys want to see how I'm investing my money, where I'm rediversifying to, you guys want to follow along with my course that teaches you guys some of these same strategies that I follow, links are in the description to go ahead and sign up. I'd love to see you guys follow along in the signals. There's going to be a ton of money to be made inside of the signals throughout this entire next bull run. We've got 3 years worth of profitability heading into this cycle, and those people that are getting into that signal program now are going to see what my picks are heading into the very bottom of this bear market and the very beginning of this new bull trend. This is where the majority of the profit is made, accumulating at the bottom of the bear market, accumulating specific cryptos that are going to perform well, and that's what I'm really excited about being able to provide to you guys that end up signing up. So if you guys do, remember, go ahead and check it out in the description. With that being said, thank you all so much for the support. I will see you in the next one. As always, peace out.